The film commences with a man named James, a former police captain now working as an armored truck driver, awakening from slumber. After a quick breakfast and coffee, he visits a church for a moment of prayer before starting his workday. 30 minutes later, James meets up with his son Michael, who awaits him with the armored truck. Michael also works for the same security company and frequently accompanies James on his cash transports. They're a reliable team, dedicated to the safe delivery of money between financial institutions. En route to their first destination, Michael shares some wonderful news. His wife is pregnant. James is overjoyed at the prospect of becoming a grandfather. It's apparent that James lives alone, his wife having died some time ago in a car accident. Despite the lingering sadness, James is excited about this new chapter in his life. Arriving at the bank, James and Michael commence loading crates of currency into their truck. As they work, James notices one crate is unusually heavy, almost too much for Michael to lift. However, company regulations prevent them from questioning the bank staff or opening any of the crates. With the truck fully loaded, they head back to their residences to rest, as the money will be delivered to its next stop early the following day. At Michael's home, they share dinner with his expecting wife. During the meal, she asks if they ever feel afraid of being robbed while transporting such large sums of money. Michael smiles reassuringly, explaining that their truck is heavily armored and virtually impenetrable. Simultaneously, the scene cuts to a group of criminals meeting at their hideout. Their leader, a man known as Rook, is meticulously planning the heist of James and Michael's armored truck. Rook carefully outlines the strategy with his team, then dismisses them to rest before their operation the next day. Early the next morning, before embarking on their route, James and Michael briefly stop by the bank that employs them. James inquires with the manager about the unusually heavy crate, wondering if its contents are solely monetary. The manager brushes off his concerns, simply instructing him to deliver the crate to the designated bank in the neighboring city. Reluctant to cause a fuss, James and Michael set off on their journey. As they drive, James feels an increasing sense of unease. He repeatedly mentions his worries about the heavy crate, suspecting it might contain something illicit or even a bomb. Michael attempts to calm his anxieties, suggesting that if it were truly dangerous, it wouldn't be their responsibility. Nevertheless, James's apprehension persists. Shortly thereafter, James notices something unsettling in the truck's rearview mirror. A black car with darkened windows is tailing them. Initially, he tries to rationalize it as mere coincidence, but his instincts as a former law enforcement officer suggest otherwise. To test his suspicions, James accelerates the truck, expecting the car to fall behind. Instead, the black car matches their increased speed, maintaining a constant distance, as if observing their every move. James feels a surge of anxiety and alerts Michael to the potential threat. The tension escalates when the black car suddenly speeds up and crashes into the rear of their truck. The impact violently shakes the truck, nearly causing Michael to lose control. At that instant, James realizes they are being targeted. Sensing the imminent danger, James floors the accelerator, attempting to evade their pursuers. A thrilling chase ensues. During the chase, James tells Michael to contact their office or the authorities for assistance, but their mobile phones are unresponsive. The criminals have jammed their communication signals. James skillfully maneuvers the truck, but the black car remains hot on their trail. The chase culminates on an aging bridge, where their path is obstructed by a vehicle ahead and another car blocks their escape from behind. They are trapped. Rook and his gang exit their vehicles and open fire on James and Michael's armored truck. Luckily, the truck's robust construction withstands the barrage of bullets. Frustrated, one of Rook's henchmen launches a missile at the truck, causing it to overturn. Despite the truck being flipped onto its side, James and Michael are unharmed and manage to climb out. As they emerge, Rook and his gang resume their attack. Michael is visibly shaken, having never experienced such a perilous situation. James, drawing on his prior law enforcement training, remains calm and instructs Michael to be brave. James returns fire, incapacitating 2 of Rook's men. However, the situation deteriorates when Michael is shot in the arm. James quickly shields him and guides him to the truck's reinforced cargo compartment. Once inside, James locks the compartment, effectively creating a barricade against Rook and his gang. Inside the truck, James tends to Michael's wound, assuring him that the treatment might be painful but necessary. Meanwhile, Rook, now with only 3 remaining members, is growing increasingly desperate, trying to figure out how to breach the armor compartment. Finally, Rook attempts to negotiate, promising not to harm James and Michael if they open the door. James refuses, recognizing it as a deceptive tactic. During this tense standoff, James's curiosity is piqued by the heavy crate. He decides to open it and finds gleaming gold bars worth millions of dollars. James realizes the criminals aren't after the cash. They're after the gold. He must quickly devise an escape plan. Simultaneously, one of Rook's men, becoming impatient, ignites a tear gas canister and positions it near the truck, hoping to force James and Michael out. James, with his police background, immediately recognizes the danger. He directs Michael to seal all the ventilation openings with any available cloth or material. Despite his fear, Michael follows James's instructions promptly. Their quick thinking prevents the tear gas from significantly affecting them. 10 minutes pass. One of Rook's men is confident that James and Michael won't be able to hold out much longer. Suddenly, James's voice echoes from within the truck, asserting that it's not easy to defeat a former police captain. He declares that the gold bars they are after will never be theirs. James pledges to protect the gold with his life, emphasizing his commitment to his duty. Rook, hearing this, becomes even more frustrated. Knowing that their bullets and explosives are ineffective against the armored truck, Rook orders one of his men to fetch a drill, believing it to be their last resort. As this unfolds, James's thoughts drift to a painful memory, the day his wife passed away. He had planned a camping trip with his wife and teenage son, Michael, intending to spend some quality time together as a family. What should have been a joyous outing turned into a tragedy when a car swerved dangerously on the road ahead, creating chaos and heartbreak. As a police captain at the time, James felt it was his duty to act when he witnessed the out-of-control vehicle, even though his wife and Michael begged him to ignore it so they could enjoy their family trip. James couldn't stand by idly. He explained that his actions were to ensure the safety of others from the reckless driver. James managed to stop the car and discovered the driver was intoxicated. After issuing a stern warning, James returned to his family's car, hoping they could continue their trip. However, the decision to intervene would forever alter their lives. Not long after they resumed their journey, disaster struck. A speeding truck crashed violently into the back of their car. The impact was so powerful that their car flipped over several times. In just a few seconds, everything descended into chaos. The accident claimed the life of James's wife instantly, leaving a deep and lasting sadness in the hearts of both James and Michael. Although James and Michael survived physically, the tragic event changed their lives irrevocably, leaving emotional scars that would never fully heal. Back in the present, Rook and his gang are still attempting to drill into James's armored truck. At the same time, James formulates a plan. He notices a bottle of alcohol nearby and decides to use it. Quietly, James slips out through a small side window, sets the alcohol ablaze, and throws the burning bottle at the robbers operating the drill. The resulting explosion damages the drill and even injures one of Rook's men. James quickly climbs back into the truck through the side window. One of Rook's men tries to shoot at the window, but its steel construction deflects the bullets. Frustrated, another one of Rook's men, Smoke, starts firing wildly at the truck, hoping to break through. However, one of his teammates stops him, warning that such a waste of ammunition is pointless and could even backfire, endangering them all. Rook calms Smoke down and suggests they leave the scene. Rook admits their mission has failed. They couldn't breach the armored truck, and the police are likely en route. Smoke initially agrees and starts heading towards their car, but then suddenly turns on Rook, attacking him and one of their teammates, still determined to get the gold. Smoke then jumps into his car and rams it into James's truck, attempting to push it into the river. He believes that sinking the truck will force James to give up and open the compartment. However, Smoke's car isn't powerful enough to move the truck any further. Refusing to quit, Smoke grabs a missile and uses it to knock James's truck into the river. The truck plunges into the water, with James and Michael still inside. As the truck sinks, James quickly opens the side window and works to get Michael out. But then, a heavy metal crate falls onto Michael's leg, trapping him. Michael tells his father to leave him behind and save himself, but James refuses to give up. He keeps trying to move the crate, determined to save his son no matter what. In the end, James manages to free the heavy crate from Michael's leg and quickly pulls him out of the truck. Summoning all his strength, James swims to the lake's edge while carrying Michael. Just as they reach the shore, Smoke appears out of nowhere and attacks James. A fierce fight breaks out between them. As Smoke is about to deliver the final blow, a gunshot rings out. Smoke falls. James looks up to see Rook standing there, holding a gun. Rook had survived because he was wearing a bulletproof vest when Smoke tried to shoot him earlier. Now, Rook has taken his revenge on Smoke for turning against him. James helps Michael up, and they climb back onto the bridge, where they meet Rook. Rook tells James he won't harm them if James promises not to tell the police about his involvement in the robbery. With no other choice, James agrees and hurriedly takes Michael away from the scene. Once they are gone, Rook goes back down to the truck to claim the gold bars. Feeling triumphant, Rook smiles, knowing he doesn't have to share the treasure with anyone. All the gold now belongs to him alone.